I'd had several ideas for a video today that I thought y'all would enjoy and I would enjoy and I was excited about. Week and a half ago, I thought I might be finished with this FN stock by now and actually be putting that rifle together today. This rifle's going to be special, I think. I mean, I really do think this one's going to be special, and I think y'all are going to enjoy seeing this one go together. But I didn't get the stock finished. I'm on the checkering now, and it's getting close, but I am not there yet. So that fell through. And 1903A3 stock, it's getting really close. I'm doing the finish sanding on this. And I thought, okay, well, I can put the first coat of linseed oil on this stock and share this with y'all, because that's a special moment when you put that first coat of linseed oil or finish, whatever you're using, on a rifle stock. Because after all of that work, you finally get to see what it's really going to look like. When you put that first coat on there, that's when you really see what that wood's going to look like, and that's a special moment. Now, I didn't get the finish sanding done. I thought, okay. Well, a week and a half ago or so, Mrs. River brought home some tickets for a gun show that's happening next week, and I was kind of excited about that. And so, okay, I thought, well, we'll do a video on a gun show. I was looking forward to going, just getting a little break, because I have had my head down and I've been working hard on these stocks for the last few weeks, in the evenings after work and weekends and so forth. And I thought, well, that'd be fun to get out of town, just go to a gun show. And I thought, well, we'll talk about what to look for in rifles and so forth. And we're still going to talk about that later on, but we had a lot of things come up this past week that just kind of, kind of changed my thoughts on that. And I was feeling a little negative, honestly, and I didn't want to do anything negative. I hate negativity. But Mrs. River, her aunt passed away last week. So we'll just say things didn't go like I had planned. And it was tough. She was a good woman. I didn't know her very well, but she's just one of them people that just, you liked her as soon as you met her, and just, you knew she was a good person and a good family. And the hard part for me, not knowing her well, wasn't losing her, it was just seeing her family suffering like they are. We actually did the funeral earlier today and spent some time with her husband and daughter and her sister. They were close family, and it's tough seeing them go through that. And Mrs. River, tough seeing her, deal with all this. It's a tough week. So what we finally ended up with as a video is just me out here in the shop rambling about some guns. We're down to that now. And one gun in particular. While we were visiting with Mrs. River's uncle and his daughter, and he gave Mrs. River a pistol. This is a Ruger 22 semi-automatic. A lot of y'all have seen many of these, but a lot of y'all haven't seen one like this. This is one of the early ones. And when you pick this one up, this is made out of something. It's substantial. You can feel the weight difference between this and the new ones. Well, this was Mrs. River's grandpa's pistol. So her uncle had planned on giving this to Mrs. River before his wife passing this week and so forth. And he'd already planned on giving this to her, but today he just thought it was a good time to give this to her. And this was Mrs. River's grandfather's pistol, his father's. We'll just say that just meant the world to Mrs. River. And not even so much that it was a pistol, just that it was her grandpa's, and she absolutely loves everything, anything that was her grandpa's, because she thought the world of him and it's a connection to him. And it made me just realize how much guns actually can mean to us. Not as just tools. Okay. This obviously has a lot of sentimental value for their family, and Mrs. Rivers' uncle. He shoots a lot. He's a pistol guy, and so he shoots competition and different things. And well, I think that was really good for him today, for me and him to just talk guns, just to get his mind off of all that was going on. And it made me realize the therapeutic value of guns. And yes, they do have a therapeutic value, because I could tell that was just good for him, just to get his mind off of all that and to think about something he just really enjoys. Which he enjoys. He's into reloading. He reloads his pistol cartridge and so forth, and shoots competition. And I love hearing his thoughts, because I learned from him on pistols. Matter of fact, I need to go shooting with him, just so, you know, he can teach me some of the finer points on pistols. That's not my, you know, area of expertise by any means. I can use one, but yeah, that's not my area of expertise. And I thought about how much meaning I've gotten out of these, working on these stocks. Yeah, it's been work, and I've been putting my head down working, and I don't mind that a bit. I enjoy that. I love it when I can just, you know, put my head down, go to work, and see progress. See that I'm making something that is special to me. And that's what I'm doing here. And when I put this rifle together, I'll show you everything I've done to this, including actual real ebony 4-inch tip and pistol cap. And yeah, and there's a lot of history that goes along with this also. We're going to talk about that later on. And the same way with the FN. I really enjoyed doing the checkering on this and learning how to do that, and the challenge of it. And yes, it was challenging. It's still challenging, but I'm starting to get it. And usually I pick up on things pretty quick as far as anything mechanical, woodworking type stuff. But this presented its own unique challenges, I have to say. But we're going to go over that later too. But the point of all that, though, is it is so important for us to have something that we enjoy. There's just going to be hard things that come up in life that we got to deal with. And there ain't no way around it, and that's just part of life. And for those of you that, you know, you have no use for, you know, the Bible, God, religion, or any of that, religion helps you deal with those things. It really does. And I promise you, religion has a purpose, and there's a lot more to it than what you think. And I say that because if you don't believe in God and so forth, well, you've obviously missed out on some important stuff at some point. And if you ever did, you know, if you were into it, you'd understand. That's one of those you've got to do some praying before you get it, I guess. But having something to do that you enjoy, that's important too. And I guess that's what this video is going to be, gun therapy. And just how far back this goes, I've been reading a book. It's The Modern Gunsmith, written by James Howe. And he was a gunsmith way back. He wrote the book in the 1930s, 1934, I believe. Griffin and Howe. That was America's finest gunmaker at one point, or at least one of the finest. Probably still are one of the finest, because they still produce some fine rifles. Those rifles that are way out of most of our price ranges, you know, those type rifles that you might have to get a mortgage to go buy one. All right, well, James Howe, he's the one that put the Howe and Griffin and Howe. He's a very smart individual, and I've enjoyed reading what he wrote about gunsmithing way back then. One of the first things he talked about, even in 1934, was the importance of hobbies. And it struck me then, even then, how important it is to have something you enjoy. And in the case of guns, there's just so much more to working on them and reloading. Reloading's therapy. You've got to be 100% focused on what you're doing. You can't go out reloading when you've got a lot of, really deep things on your mind. So reloading's therapy because it makes you get those things off your mind quick. And then to be able to take an old stock and to turn it into something that's at least special to you. It might not be special to anybody else. That's what I've enjoyed about these two stocks. And not to mention the learning, doing the checkering and different things I've done to this one we're going to talk about. I've improved my skills. I've learned things. I'm more knowledgeable and skillful with hand tools and so forth than I was before I started this process. So I've personally benefited and learned, and it's been good for me. So, and then there's just going to the range and shooting. That's pretty good therapy there too. So yeah, guns have a therapeutic value, and I guess that's where we're at today with this video. Just realizing that. And also celebrating the 4th of July, Independence Day. And one thing that just really hit me on that, independence, we associate that with freedom. But it really isn't about freedom. Independence it means, literally, it means not to be dependent upon. That's what independent is not to be dependent. They're antonyms, complete opposites of each other. What to not be dependent upon, for instance, kids. They're dependent upon their parents. They grow up to be independent adults. Well, in order to become independent adults and to no longer be dependent upon their parents, they have to take on a lot of responsibilities. So to be independent doesn't entirely mean freedom. That's part of it. But there's a lot of responsibilities to go with that. And that's something we just don't think about a whole lot anymore. But I think that's something they thought about when they declared their independence in 1776. And that's kind of what we're celebrating today. And anyway, any of you that are having get-togethers with your family and friends and any anti-gun people you might be around, or people that aren't so sure about firearms, you can mention the therapeutic value, but don't forget to mention that this holiday was, made possible by armed citizens with guns. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. It's been a tough day today, and I wanted to share this pistol with y'all. I just thought that was interesting. Maybe this video and talking about guns is therapy for me. Y'all have a wonderful Independence Day. At least everybody here in the U.S. is celebrating it. And next week, hopefully, if things go according to plan this time, we're going to be putting at least the FN together, and hopefully that first coat of linseed oil on this one. So see how any of that turns out and where we end up at, wherever that may be. Make sure you've hit the subscribe bell and notification button. God bless and have a wonderful holiday.